In August of 1521, Tenochtitlan stood magnificently. It rose from Lake Texcoco like a dream. Temples above the water, canoes gliding through canals, and bustling markets alive with voices. But by summer's end, this empire faced destruction. To outsiders, it seemed like a sudden collapse, but inside, it had been brewing for months. Tenochtitlan was a marvel, not just a village. It was a stone capital, a hub of power and order. Built on Lake Texcoco, it thrived at the center of the Mexica world. Visitors marveled at its grandeur. Markets dazzled with colors and sounds. Rulers commanded tribute from distant lands. Yet beneath the surface, tensions simmered. Many feared Tenochtitlan, but few loved it. In 1519, everything changed. Strangers arrived by sea. Hernán Cortés brought steel, horses, and ambition. However, he carried something more dangerous: opportunity. To Cortés, Tenochtitlan was a prize. To rival tribes, it symbolized liberation from Mexica power. What started as an expedition morphed into a collision of worlds. At first, the Spanish entered Tenochtitlan as guests. The city mesmerized them. Causeways, temples, and gardens seemed like magic. Yet wonder quickly turned to distrust. Every greeting hid a threat. Every alliance had a cost. Mexica leaders struggled to comprehend these newcomers. But power shifted too swiftly. Violence erupted in the sacred city. Trust crumbled entirely. The Spanish were expelled, yet the conflict was far from over. Cortés regrouped, building a coalition much stronger than an army. Thousands of indigenous allies, especially Tlaxcalans, joined him. The downfall of Tenochtitlan would not result from Spain alone, but an unseen enemy emerged: smallpox. It swept through the region, claiming those without immunity. Families weakened, leaders died, and defenders faded. Strength was not lost in battle. It drained silently, house by house, street by street. By 1521, Cortés was preparing for another attack. This time, he aimed to trap the great city. Brigantine boats were built and launched onto Lake Texcoco. Causeways were monitored, water routes threatened. The lake, once a source of security, became a prison. The siege began. Canoes navigated dark waters under smoke-filled skies. Warriors defended bridges, rooftops, and canals. Spanish soldiers alongside indigenous allies pressed forward. This was no clean conquest. It was relentless pressure. Day after day, the world's center was squeezed. Food and water dwindled, and despair settled in. Inside Tenochtitlan, ordinary lives suffered. Mothers searched desperately for sustenance. Elders watched sacred temples engulfed in flames. Children heard conflict throughout the streets they once loved. The empire was so much more than rulers and warriors. It encompassed families, sellers, priests, and farmers now trapped in history's tightening grip. The Mexica, however, still resisted fiercely. They navigated broken causeways and narrow streets. Canals, bridges, and rooftops became their battlegrounds. Every stone was a weapon. Each moment of survival displayed their grit. Ultimately, a city alone cannot endure forever. It can withstand an army, fear, and flame. Yet when resources vanish and disease reigns, courage has its limits. Tenochtitlan fell not due to cowardice, but a convergence of countless woes. Cuauhtémoc, the last Mexica ruler, stood at the center of turmoil. He inherited not a flourishing empire, but a city shrouded in strife. Surrender meant disgrace, while resistance led to annihilation. As the old world crumbled, he clung to hope. On August 13, 1521, the inevitable arrived. Cuauhtémoc tried to escape by canoe with loyal followers, but he was captured on the water, silent amidst the storm. No fanfare marked this moment of loss. No bell could undo it. The heart of the empire ceased to beat. Cortés claimed victory. Tenochtitlan, the once majestic capital, lay in ruins, brought low by siege, disease, and betrayal. The tale is told as a mere clash between Spaniards and Aztecs, yet the truth is multifaceted. Indigenous alliances, rivalries, and geography all played a part. The empire did not collapse from weakness. It fell as history closed in. Today, modern Mexico City covers Tenochtitlan's remains. Streets and buildings mask the ancient canals and sacred stones. Yet the empire lives on. It survives in language, memories, art, and its resilient descendants. The city that vanished overnight wasn't erased. It lies beneath another world, patiently waiting to be honored once more. Join us in exploring this monumental story. Like, share, and subscribe for more historical journeys.